I'm back for sorry, I'm back for part 2, and I have cut out some of the slides which I want to use, and I'm going to show you a couple of, I don't know if we can call them hacks. I'm just going to show you how I've finally gotten around to working out how I can cut these out in a good way. Now these, if you have printed these at 100% and you have a 2-inch square punch, literally 2 inches from here, not across here, you'll be able to just punch that out because it's a 2-inch hole. This is 2 inches wide and longer, maybe 4, can't remember how big that one was, but it's 2 inches wide. I'm going to show you how I am cutting these out. I'm going to show you both ways. Well, there's only one way, but I'm going to show you how I'm using my fake 2-inch punch to cut this out. So if you want one half and not the other half, I'm going to leave it whole, and I'm lining up those lines. Can you see there? I'm lining that up and I'm going to punch that hole. Okay, so I have that. Now on these smaller ones, it's really straightforward because all you do is move it around. It is possible to get a little bit wrong here, but if you're careful, take your time, you can cut this whole square out with your punch. That's smaller. Okay, now this is where it's going to go slightly wrong because I haven't quite cut the edge off there, so I might end up, I've got a tiny bit of sticky out bit here. That's fine, because I'm just going to take my little tiny scissors and I'm going to trim that very slightly. But there you go, done. Now I'm going to show you how to do it if you want both sides. So I'm going to fold this in half. Oh, technical issues. Anyway, I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was gonna show you how to do it both sides. Basically all you do is you fold it and you do the same process, but I start with the folded edge. Okay, so I'm going to line it up in exactly the same way, so you can see here where the edge is. Line it up as best you can and punch those out. Move it along. Punch that out. So you can see we've got a nice kind of edge here. Again, we've got a little bit here, so we're not going to stress about that. We're not going to stress about it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just trim that. And this is just a workaround if you don't have that 2-inch punch. You can of course use your scissors, you can use your knife, but lots of people were recommending, when I was asking about purchasing a 2-inch punch, lots of people were recommending a die, and it's just not really what I want for this. I've got dies, but you know, the punch is really what I wanted. So you can see now we've got that kind of slide. We've got a little bit of white here. We'll ink that, won't be a problem. Now, which one shall I do? I think I'm going to do this one. So for this, what I do is slightly different. Well, it's not actually. Punch out, start with the corners, and I'll punch those out like so, okay? And then I'm going to do this middle piece here, like so. I've done it already. I'm just going to trim here and bring my scissors underneath for the bottom. So bottom, my scissors are underneath. For the top, my scissors are on top. If you're left-handed, it's going to be the other way around. And then I'm just going to use my scissors to cut that line out. So it's not ideal, but it's an easy way. It's easy. It's not perfect, but it's easy. Just slide all my junk off to the side. And now I'm going to fold this in. Oh, pants. What I should have done, because let me show you with this one. It's actually much easier to fold it first. Ta-da! There we go. So that's my tip. That's my other tip. Fold it. Fold it first because it's a lot easier than trying to fold it. And this will be the same, but slightly easier than those large ones. They are easier if you fold them first. Let me just line that up a bit better. Okay, so because I've rounded the corners in the digital kit, if you haven't got a corner punch, you can cut those yourself. Now, I haven't tried the 1/4 inch punch, but I'm going to see if that's, yeah, that's fine. The 1/4 inch punch or any corner punch. So I'll do this one. Sorry, my mum phoned. Me mum phoned. Happens to us all, doesn't it? So anyway, any corner punch will do. This one would work. I'll show you on the other one. The larger one will also work. Although I've clogged my corner punch up a little bit with glue. And yeah, I know I can use tinfoil to clean it. I've done that several times. Used tinfoil on this particular punch, but I think it gets to a certain stage where, especially if you've used glue in it, I think it gets to a certain stage where it's just time for a new one, which is why I use this at the moment, but I'm not that keen on it. I'm not that keen on that punch. I don't think it gives as nice a round edge as the others. Okay, so we've got one with a back, one without a back, a large one with a back. I want to do some of these little ones. I'm going to do this little teeny weeny one, and I think, is this the one I've got? I think these medium size ones, I think this punch is actually the right size. Yes, there we go. So if you've got a 2-inch punch, it will fit that particular. What else have I got? I've got another square punch here somewhere. Let's try this one. I think this is the one. I want to do this one. I think this one will fit here, and this punch is a 1.5 inch punch. So you won't have to, if you have punches, you know, you won't have to do too much cutting out with your scissors. This is 1.5 inch. That's the 2 inch. Where did I put? Oh, that was a 2 inch, wasn't it? I cut the 2 inch out, and I used the 2 inch to cut the bigger holes out. Yes, and I've done it again. I've not folded it, not folded it first. That's me mother phoning. That was, put me right off. I almost didn't answer, but you never know, do you, when you get a phone call, whether it's important and you really should answer it. So, Mum, if you're watching, I did answer. I hope you're grateful. Right, there we go. There we go. And again, you can choose small corner punch. You can use your scissors if you don't have a corner punch. It's not a big deal. These things are just sent to make things easier for us, but they cost money and you don't need them. You don't need them. It's just, especially for doing a video, because it keeps things pretty fast. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, I'm going to make this one. Okay, I've got a little scrap of oddments here. Any paper you could do. Now, obviously, if you make this kind of thing using a Tim Holtz paper, you've already got your nice background because they're all double-sided. I'm just looking for those tiny scissors again. Where did I put them? Here they are. Yeah, this has got into a rambling mess, hasn't it? Because I was sidetracked. Put off. Let's get rid of that punch. Just going to use a little bit of ink here. Ink round the edge of my slide, and I have been working on these for several days, so I do have some other possibilities for you to show you other things you can do. The most important thing was just showing you the easy way to cut these out. Okay, so got my piece of oddments. just make this look. Okay, I'm just gonna grab my little pencil. I'm gonna put a little mark at the edge, and I know I can come in maybe half a centimetre or so from those lines. So I'm gonna just cut there and cut there. It's all done by eye. All I need to do is make sure I've got a bit of border here to glue. Okay, got a big chunk of ink in the middle there, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. We'll cover that up. So I'm gonna, oh, I've got a, oh, look, that's obviously a piece I've decided to cut before. Never mind, not gonna waste it. It's perfectly good enough for this, as long as we glue that flat, that's fine. So basically, we have a long case clock. We love it, but we have a very small house, and we have some ship's shelving coming. It's from a 1930s ship shop. It's from a shop, from a ship from 1930s. It's having a bit of work done to it, and that's going to be delivered, so we no longer have room for our clock. And we've been trying, because we love it, we don't want to get rid of it, we've been trying to make my mum and dad have it, and they keep saying no, 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 no. And that's why my mum phoned, basically. She's just phoned up to say my dad wants the clock, so I'm really glad about that. I am glad I answered the phone, because we'll now have a nice home for the clock, and still have room for the new ship's shelves. So I'm excited about them, but when we got home and looked at the space, we realised the space we had wasn't as big as we thought. Right, I'm going to grab this little piece of written ephemera from one of the ephemera kits, the mix. I'm going to ink that, and I'm going to just pop that into place there. So these become more of a frame rather than a slide. I'm going to take, I'm just grabbing one of the, oh, I do love that toadstool, that's my favourite. One of the toadstools. Right, I'm going to have that one. I'm going to ink that up. So yeah, the long case clock. I mean, we had it, you have to kind of, to wind it, you pull the chain on the inside of the clock. I don't want my mum to listen to this bit in case she changes her mind, but it's quite loud, the ticking, in as much as when we're upstairs in our bedroom, we could hear it still ticking downstairs here in the lounge. And also my mum and dad live in a bungalow, so it's gonna be, they're gonna hear it. Shh, don't tell them that. They're gonna hear it. And the other thing is, it chimes every 15 minutes, which is also loud. And I think it may have been in a couple of videos, and we were like, let's not bother winding it anymore. So it looks pretty, but we haven't got it working because it was a bit loud for our lifestyle of filming. So there you go. Anyway, now I'll stop blaring on about that, and I want these words. So it says meadow mushroom, and these I found all these little mushroom and toadstool related words from various toadstool books and mushroom books. I've changed all the colours so they match. Well, they're all different colours, but they're kind of in keeping with each other, I think we'd say. Put that there. I'm just addicted to making these at the moment. Just can't stop. Been making loads of them. I'll show you. And do I want that? I want that slightly over that way, I think. There. Right. Now I'm going to. So we've got our little image or our mini collage, and we're just going to frame it with this slide. So I'm going to add my glue. And what I do love about this art glitter glue is this is a new bottle, but all I did was took the top off the old one and put it on, because these little metal tips are impossible to get off once they're on. They're really on there. So it's quite nice. You just take this black piece off the new bottle. There's the old one with the new top on, you see. There's still a little bit in there, so that's why I haven't got rid of that yet. And there we go. And what I would do is probably sew, well, I would sew around there. So that's that one done. I'm not going to show you me making this one, but I sorry cat, disturbing the cat's sleep, stamped some of my Mackie stamps on to some tracing paper and used those. Okay, I tried some acetate, but for some reason, the ink just slides off, even though I was using the archival ink. I think I might have to have a go with the stays on, but I'm sure there is an ink that would stick to the acetate. These ones are perfect for the photographs. And need to kind of do very little to these. That's pink. Let's have a look. Oh, we have a lovely lady. That might go a bit better with the pink. Look at that. Gorgeous. So I'm gonna, and then once you've made these little pieces, if you make them, obviously you don't have to make them. If you want to know how to make these just using cardstock, then I've got a video on that. You don't have to buy a kit. Of course you don't have to buy a kit. I do want to point that out actually. Oh, it's two pretty ladies. No, I think I'm going to stick to my first. Yep, stick to the first pretty lady. Pretty much everything that is in a kit you can make yourself if you want to. Kits they simplify things, but using a kit is no different to, and you know, I often hear people say, I used to think this quite a lot at the beginning as well, you know, is it better to use a kit or is it better to make things yourself? And I like both. I like both. There are pros and cons for both. I have an eco tank printer and I absolutely love it, as everybody probably knows by now. I print so much stuff, especially when I am designing a kit, because I do test prints over and over, you know, until I'm happy with things. So ink is a factor with digital kits, unless you have something like the eco tank. But also, images can be found in magazines, in newspapers, in old books, and you know, you don't have to necessarily buy the same books that everybody else buys, because if you look through your local charity shop, or obviously that's a little bit more difficult at the moment, but online there are hundreds of bookshops. And there are always books. You know, if you go to a charity shop, you might pick up a book for 50p. It might only have 5 images that you want, but those are original images. You can cut out those original images and use them for things like this, you know. It doesn't have to be a kit, really doesn't. Now, I think just with a little bit of stitching around the aperture, that is perfect. You could put a little label on here as well if you wanted to. So those two. And the final one, which I'm not going to make, I'm just going to show you what I thought you could do. Anyway, yeah, you don't need to buy kits. This could be made with cardstock, it could be made with plain card, and then you can paint it, you can ink it, you can stamp it. All of this can be done without a kit. Please, please don't think that you know, watching a video where a kit's being used means you have to go out and buy that kit and you can only make these with the kit, because that's not true. I'm going to show you examples. in a bit. Anyway, blah blah. Let's crack on. Let's have a look. What do I have? Where have they gone? I'm just trying to show you. So I'm going to show you a couple I've made, but what I've done is other pictures and other kits, or again, this one's wrapping paper. See, don't need a kit. Don't need a kit to do this. What else could you use? Let's have a look. Oh, piece of tea dyed paper that could go in here, and it's the same, you know, of lined paper. Oh, this is book page. Let's have a look. This is a piece of book page that could go in here. Lots of options, but basically what I've done on the other one is I've just used a tag from a kit, cut the top off the tag, glued that into the background, you know, done exactly the same, and then I've made a tag with another kit piece, and I've used that to slot in the top, so it becomes like a window pocket, if you like. So I'm not going to make that one. What I'm going to do now is just I want to use a couple of bits out of there, because I've got another idea I want to show you. So these are the two we've made. Now this particular teeny tiny one, they fit those little mushrooms, you know, from the mixed toadstool ephemera. They fit in here perfectly. So and they also fit in this size as well. So those work in there. I want to, where did they go? Ah, here they are. I printed the photos at half size, or again 2 per page, like I showed you earlier, and then they will also fit in these little slides, these little tiny ones. I just think these are so cute. I'm going to show you some that I've made. So these are some of the tiny ones, and these were not printed at 50 or at 2 per page. They're just normal. They're printed as they were. That is from the bug page from the ephemera. Toadstools. Got a bit of a thing for toadstools at the minute. So that was some of those ones. These are some of the medium-sized ones. Look at that. Oh, I just love them. There are just so many options, and I love this manly one if you're using, and those are some of the numbers from the other kit. So those, made those. These ones I've made using bits from the kit, but these were from those spare Tim Holtz pages, and I've added some of my labels on here as well, just done a couple of, I mean, I have literally been making these for days. I feel like Jessica, because obviously Jessica makes things in bulk, and I don't do it very often, but once you find something you're enjoying, it's so easy to do. And so I made those. Again, using my slides, I've made 2 of those. Just sewn them slightly differently. That makes all the difference. And this obviously would, for example, you could pop that under here, put it onto a book page. You could turn this into a little flip pocket. Oh, that's a good idea. All you could do is literally pop a little bit of washi down here. That could glue in your journal, and you've got a little flip tuck spot. Perfect, like that. These are more that I made with the Tim Holtz little squares, and sewn those. Literally, I have just been making these. Every journal I have is going to have about 15 of these in. And then the big ones, here are 2 of the big ones. See, one of them I rounded the corners, one I didn't. And this slides out, and then there's another piece underneath there. And these have got a plastic, they've got a plastic, can you see? There is plastic on these ones. I did do that. So that's another one. Anyway, I went through my Tim Holtz paper pads, and I cut out the squares pull those out. So these are the, you know, the individual squares, but I've left them in twos. Okay, so all I would do, as I showed it in a recent video, is pop that out. You've got your slide. Okay, round the corners if you want to. If you don't have a corner punch, I've got a little cotton reel. So you can take your pencil, draw, cut with scissors. You know, you don't have to have a corner punch. That's a way of getting around that. Anyway, I've gone on for long enough today. I think I'm very dry. Need a drink. Coffee is calling. I'm going to slot this in before the goodbye because I had a thought, something that I wanted to show you. Basically, I wanted to show you how some of these bits could be used to make clusters if you wanted to make clusters. So for example, I've got a piece of ephemera. I'm going to add a clock. I'm going to add, what else have I got? Find something quick, find something. Oh, little toadstool and a word, and obviously go and check out, there's loads of cluster videos, but those bits just stuck together look pretty cool. And what I also like, and I've made one of these, is the larger clock. Where's the big butterfly gone? Oh, I've lost my big butterfly. But the big clock with the big butterfly looks pretty cool. I'll try the smaller clock with this big butterfly. Just things like that, clustered together. You could still add. And also these little bits that you've punched out, they would make pretty interesting cluster pieces. Like so. And there's a teeny tiny stamp which you could add. So I just wanted to quickly show you that. Okay, I'm done now. I hope that's given you some ideas, and I really do hope it's also kind of tried to get across that you don't need a kit to do this. And these little tiles, I've had lots of people say they don't have the heat embossing. So these ones, these are from the kit. All I did with these is I've gone over them with the collage medium. You could use any matte medium, to be perfectly honest, or you can use a PVA if it's watered down. The matte one, just, it feels beautiful. It's protected it a little bit, but it's not shiny. And I've done some of the words as well from the kit. So just some ideas, And this is the template. That's not, where is it? This is, you know, I made one of these in a video. That's actually gone out in the post now. But I made one of these in a video, which is very similar to the ephemera folder. That's where the idea came from, to make the ephemera folder. So again, you know, it can be made without kit. There we go. I hope that's been helpful. I will be back with probably no more slides because you're probably sick of me making them. I think I'll probably have 100 made now. I will see you all again soon with some other ideas or crafting. Like I said, none of this is rocket science. It's not rocket science. None of this is groundbreaking. It's not new. It's all out there. This is just my take on it. And I hope you enjoyed it. I'll stop talking now. I'll see you later.